Guys, it's Waste Wanderer and welcome back to my channel. Before I start, let me just say, don't immediately say Fallout 76 is a horrible game just because you saw the title. Just hear me out about what I want to say. So, with that said and done, let's just start the video. Today I will be reviewing the most recent release in the Fallout series, Fallout 76. This game's been getting a lot of hate since its first announcement because it's different, and that it doesn't have the key Fallout DNA, but in reality, it's still a good game. Without those features, it's just not a role-playing game, but it's still a good, fun game. This game isn't Fallout 5. It was never meant to be, which I think has been part of the issue. People are acting like this game is going to be the new standard for Fallout games, which isn't the case. Bethesda have said this is just something different they haven't done before and they want to try it, which is fine. But people are hating on it because it's different, which I think is bad. So, it's an attempt at them making Fallout Online. They thought about adding it to Fallout 4, but instead they thought, let's make a new world. And the world has worked out very well. And this was a successful attempt to an extent. Let's go over the parts that were successful and the parts that weren't successful, one by one, starting with the world. The world is the best thing about this game, easily. The world is varied, beautiful and rich. It has beautiful forests where orange light shines through the branches of great pine trees, or the barren snowy wasteland of the Toxic Valley, where violent beasts wreck the only remaining buildings and they scare you off into little hiding places, because that's what happens with me. Trust me, don't go stay in the forest when you're at low level. There's also a great variety in difficulty. For example, the Cranberry Bog has hordes of Scorched beasts, high level super mutants, high level Scorched, and other terrifying beasts. Whereas the Mire has the Wendigos, that will hunt you down through the swamps, and there's also great mountains connected by crumbling bridges that you can pin some power armor on. Sum up, this game is worth just for the world. The enemy's combat and weapons is the next part of the game I'm going to review. This is another amazing part of the game. There are enemies for all different levels and fighting styles. The ticks are easily dispatched with melee weapons and the Scorched take a few shells, or the Scorched beasts take a missile or 9. The combat is the same as in Fallout 4, but it's got better weapons like the pump action shotgun, which is my favourite weapon in media, easily. I mean, come on, it's great. But the problem with this combat system is that, which is a staple of the 3D Fallout world, is gone, or more or less. It still exists, but it causes your bullets to curve in weird directions that don't make sense, which just feels less realistic than freezing time, because the system doesn't freeze time anymore, because it's online. Obviously it can't freeze time, which in my opinion isn't really proper VATS, but it's still there and it's nice to have the option.
What's that? Fight at last!
Oh boy, the performance of this game is embarrassing. I personally haven't had many problems apart from when I'm recording. When I'm recording, as you can see right now, what you're watching, I get really bad frame rates. It's abysmal. It's really abysmal when I'm recording, but when I'm not, it's actually really good. I'm getting 60 on high. I have an overclocked 1050 Ti, which is basically, it was overclocked when I got it, and I overclocked it again without realising it was overclocked, so it's basically overclocked. But don't worry, it's got like 40 fans in there, so it's going to be fine. And it allows 60 FPS high or 30 FPS low when I'm recording, so yeah, well, you're actually seeing high footage, but I'm only getting about 30 FPS or lower in that footage. This isn't nearly as bad as what other people are getting though. On other platforms or systems, some are having crazy problems. Like on the PS4 I've heard some really bad reviews, which is causing review bombs, which is a nightmare because the game doesn't deserve so much hate, but the review bombs are giving it so much hate, which isn't very good for the game. If you ever want it to get better, don't just give it bad reviews. Give it good reviews and say what they need to improve on, rather than horrible reviews and don't say what they need to improve on. Some can't record using their systems, or some have like 1080 Ti's that can't even run Ultra 60 FPS. That's embarrassing for this game. This game's graphics aren't even that great. Not the art is amazing and the lighting is amazing, but the actual textures and the shadows and stuff aren't even that great, but people are struggling to get Ultra in 80s, which is quite embarrassing. I mean, hopefully a 2080 Ti can do that, but maybe not a 1080 Ti, apparently. But it should be able to. The next thing we're going to review is the story. The story isn't the best, but when you look at some of the lore, it's actually pretty good. But then other places have one note or not, and then nothing. For example, the Hunting Lodge had a holotape about some guy wanting to hunt humans as a sport because the animals were too dumb. But then that was really intriguing. I wanted to find out more. I wanted to find if this person was alive. Obviously not, there's no human NPCs, but still. But then I couldn't find anything else about it. I found that I had daily quest, which was really hard actually. It was on quite low level still, but yeah, that was quite disappointing. The overall story about taking out the Scorch Beast is quite good. It's quite thrilling to launch nukes and stuff. I've not done it, I've almost done it though, so I just need a keycard. I've got all the codes, but I just need a keycard to that stupid keycard. Every time I see a vertibot, I'm hunting it. But yeah, it will keep you intrigued enough, and it gives you a goal, so it's not completely bad, but it's not brilliant. The graphics and sound are the next bit I'm going to review. This game is beautiful in terms of art, but in textures and models, it's limited by the 20-year-old game engine, Gamebryo or something, I can't remember, it's Creation Engine. Yeah, that's it. It's a shame, because this world's art direction is truly brilliant, along with the lighting, but the actual graphics aren't that good, as to be expected by a Bethesda Game Studios game. Which is a shame, we shouldn't expect that, but they're basically refusing to upgrade the engine, which to a certain extent is good, because modders can still use it, but it really does need upgraded. The sound in this game is great. It's quite underrated actually. Not many people have been speaking about it. This game has amazing 7.1 surround sound support. I have a 7.1 surround sound headset, the HyperX Cloud 2. It's great. But like, I've really been like going around the world listening, like, where's that beeping coming from? Like changing the direction of my ears so I can hear the beeping. It's like, oh, it's on the right, and then I walk off to the right, and it's really good, this 7.1 surround sound support, and it really shows you where the thing you're listening to is. The monsters have good sounds that can be intimidating when you're in the middle of a dark forest or a lonely lodge in the woods, which is quite scary, to be honest, when you're in the mire and you're just hiding. I've experienced it. The music was done by Ainon Zur, which I'm butchering, sorry. The makers of the previous Fallout games themes, or Fallout 4's at least. I'm not sure if they did 3 in New Vegas, I don't think they did, but 4's, which they did a great job there, and they've done a great job here. They've really captured the theme and the vibe of this game, and it's really well done. The radio has some good songs, but in my opinion, leaves something to be desired. The concept of multiplayer in Fallout seems strange to some people, and in a way it is still strange to me, because there's certain things that just don't work that great with Fallout and multiplayer, but on the most part, it works really well. Like, it can even add some RPG elements to it, basic ones, but RPG elements. Like, there's a low level player and I was much higher level than him, in Grafton. He was getting annihilated by a Grafton monster. I could have stepped in and helped him, or I could not help him, just walk away, or I could help him but then take all the loot for myself and kill him and stuff. And they all have different outcomes. For example, the last one, I would be wanted, but I would get all the loot. from killing the grafting monster. So I had to decide what one I wanted to do. Eventually I just walked away because I didn't want to die, but yeah, it works well in that situation and other situations, like a level 81 who gave me a bunch of fusion cores and stuff like that. But in other situations it doesn't work the best. But mainly I'm talking about the fact that the world feels really empty without human NPCs. It's just like all these mindless animals that are programmed to attack you, and robots. And the robots, some of them have some pretty nice dialogue. You know, it cheers you up a bit. Some of their dialogue, some of the ones I spoke to. There's also ones like the Graham the super mutant trader. Stuff like that's a nice break in the loneliness, but I don't find the loneliness too bad, but it's a big complaint for a lot of people. So I'm going to mention it, but in my opinion it's good, kind of, because it is only 25 years after, not many people are out. But I wish there were still some human NPCs just to bring a bit more life. But I'm not going to say it's empty, it's soulless and empty, because it's definitely got character. Some of the like little areas have character, but the character's kind of faded away, but you can still get snippets of it through the dead bodies and stuff. So yeah, but it does cause it so like I saw this player, and instead of him bringing a random NPC that like isn't gonna be like gonna have a human reaction, he's just gonna have an AI reaction. He actually had a human realistic reaction, which worked really nicely, and I really enjoyed that. Also the level 81 guy stuff like that. But yeah, it works well in some elements and not very well in other elements. Overall, Fallout is a kind of 7 out of 10. It works well most of the part, but sometimes it can just make the world feel lonely. To sum up, this game is good on your own and great with friends, if you can run it. And it needs updates to fix some bugs and performance. It also needs a bit more content in places like the Vault, which is believed to be coming by DLC, but DLC is DLC, it's not going to come immediately. The game is good, but not great. It needs changes, even just quality of life changes like carrying weight or combat latency or lag. But it does have the potential to be one of the best games in the Fallout series, in my opinion. I don't think it will be the best, but it will still be a good Fallout game. And it still is a good Fallout game, but it has more potential. I give it a 7 out of 10. It really has saddened me that it's been getting so much worse reviews. And it's been getting so much attention on its bad qualities, but not enough on its real quality. That's been it. My Is It Worth It of Fallout 76. I hope to see some of you in the Wasteland, and hope that some of you see its potential too, and give it some leeway on its bugs and glitches. Really look at the good things. I would love to see your opinions down in the comment section. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.